Welcome back to the Swords and Wizardry solo game, where we're following two monks as they continue their quest to deliver a mystical scroll that they have in their possession that they managed to save from the destruction of their temple monastery. They're the last two of their order, and they are pretending to be clerics as they make their way across the landscape. So, let's see what happens. Okay, so in the last episode, they met a patrol. They managed to pass themselves off as clerics, and they camped out for the night. Now, because they're in thick jungle and swamp right now, they're only able to move one hex at a time. So, first of all, they need to find out if they know that they are lost. In the last episode, they got lost and they went in the wrong direction. But the direction that they went might actually be helpful for them. So we're going to take a look at the rules for deciding if you get lost or deciding if you know that you are lost in Swords and Wizardry. So let's go to Wilderness Adventures. Now with Swords and Wizardry, it says it's a 1d8, but I'm still using the 1d6 to decide if they're lost, or using the percentile dice. So I'm going to rule that we're going to roll a 1d6. They're going to decide, and it's going to decide if they know if they're getting lost. Actually, you know what? I'm going to leave it up to the fate dice. Since we're playing with Mythic, why not defer to the fate dice to decide if they are lost? So we are currently at chaos factor 6. I left it at 6. I could have dropped it or raised it after the last encounter. But I feel like the last encounter didn't change their situation one way or the other. They weren't more in control of the situation than they were before. So we're going to leave it at Chaos Factor 6. And let's see, is it likely that they're going to be lost? Or likely that they know they're lost? I'm going to say it's a 50-50. I think maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they'll realize that they feel like they should be closer to the mountains than they actually are. So 50-50, Chaos Factor 6. I need a 65 or lower for them to know that they're lost. That is a 32. I'll move this over here. So at 32, they know that they're lost. So they need to get themselves back on course. So as they get up and they start wandering around. They get up and they start going in the direction that they think they're going. Ekel looks and says, well, brother, I think we might be off track. Let's take a moment and try and readjust ourselves. And so that's when we're going to roll a d6. On a 1, 2, 3, they're lost. That's a 3. So they're lost. They're going to keep going in the wrong direction. Now, if you remember, I use a d6 to determine the direction on the hex dice that they're going to be going. And this is going to raise their chaos factor as well, because they are not in control of the situation. So starting at the top, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These poor guys. Alright, they go back down and are kind of in the same place they were before. So that is another day's rations and travel. They only have 5 days, so they need to they're going to need to end up hunting or getting out of this jungle. They need to travel across. I think they're heading for the coast. I think they're going to try and take a ship to get somewhere else off this continent, because they need to get this scroll as far away from the people behind them as possible. In the last episode, we said that the people chasing them were 8 days behind. We're going to roll a d10 and see if they have gained or lost any time on that. 6. They are now 6 days behind, because now 2 days have gone by and the brothers have, lost time. Alright, are they going to find anything by chance on a 1? They do not. So Swords and Wizardry is a bit different than, say, White Box, whereas White Box, it changes from, depending on the terrain that you're in. You can either be like on a 6 there's an encounter, or a 5 and 6, or 4 to 6. Actually, white box it's 1. OD&D it's on a 6. So we're playing Swords of Wizardry. We're going to stay with Swords of Wizardry. So on a 1, they are going to have an encounter. A 1. All right, so we're going to choose Swamp or Woodland. I'm going to leave it, you know what, I'm going to leave it 50-50. Let's say below 50 is going to be Woodland, above 50 is going to be Swamp. That is a 3. So Woodland, we're going to roll a d100 and see what they encounter here. That is 32. A flying creature. Oh, that's not good. That is not good. Although they are in the forest, so maybe it's not going to be too bad. Animal encounters, draconic. Where's my flying creatures? Here we go. They might have to run. They're probably going to have to run. I'm going to re-roll that because it was cocked. 16. Griffins. Sweet. Alright. Let's go look for griffins here. Griffins, you can see it down here. Number appearing 2d8. These don't be a lot. Whoop. I'll just throw my dice all over the place. 2d8. That is 7. Okay, it's not great. Let's see, are they young griffins or are they older griffins? We're going to roll 50-50. We're going to roll on the fate chart. Chaos factor 6. So if it's positive, they're going to be young. If it's negative, they're going to be old. Actually, no, we're going to go the other way. If there's positive, they're going to be mature griffins. If it's negative, they're going to be young griffins. 28. 7 mature griffins. Alright, so I think they're neutral. So I think maybe the griffins are all... Griffins tend to be in mountainous regions, and the brothers are very close to the mountains right now. So I think maybe Griffins may have come down from the mountains to hunt and whatnot. And they're all kind of watching the brothers see what they do. Griffins, they can be tamed, so they're not overly vicious. Let's see what kind of reaction roll that they're going to have to it. Actually, no. You know what? Swords of Wizardry, we're going to leave it up to the fate dice. So the brothers are going to kind of keep an eye on them. And questions like, brother, I've never seen creatures like this before. And Kelso, don't worry, I think if we keep calm and we are not aggressive towards them, then perhaps they'll just let us pass without an issue. Alright, so we're going to roll. Are the griffins going to allow them to pass? 50-50 on this. 38. Yes, the griffins are going to allow them to pass. The two brothers kind of make their way, keep their eyes on the griffins to make sure that nothing's happening, but they're not making any aggressive movements towards them. The brothers, although there's 7 of them, the griffins could easily probably take the brothers, but maybe the griffins are, somewhat intelligent. Maybe they seem to be like too much of a threat, too difficult outside of their normal prey to really take them down or really want to risk it. So the brothers end up being able to move past them and continue on their lost journey. We're going to push the chaos factor up to 7 because they are still lost. Now they are going to again camp for the night, and the next morning they are going to get up and look around because, brother, I think we took a wrong turn somewhere. I feel like we should be out of the jungle by now. Question. sort of the tempestuous one. Brother, I knew we shouldn't have taken on this journey. How are we supposed to get out of here? We could die in here, and the scroll will just be laying on the ground. Trust, brother. We'll make it out. We just have to trust in the source and in ourselves. And so they are going to bed down for the night. Get up the next morning. They're going to roll, see if they are lost, or see if they know they are lost. So they're now at chaos factor 7, so a 75 or less is positive. 6, they do know they are lost. So that's kind of even worse. They know they're lost and they cannot get themselves out. So I think I'm going to roll to see if they're lost again. On a 1, they'll be lost. If not, then they're going to be able to go in the direction they want. 3, okay. I know I did 1 to 3 last time, but we're going to try and keep the Swords of Wizardry. We'll keep it to 1, even though it's on a D8, but I think in the jungle on a D3 or a D6 makes more sense. So they are finally going to be able to travel in the direction they want. Now, we're going to test the scene. So let's go to Swords and Wizardry, or not Swords and Wizardry, let's go to the Mythic book, and we're going to test the scene to see if their day of traveling in the jungle proceeds as normal, or if something interesting is going to happen. Alright, so to test the scene, we're going to roll a d10. If it is above the chaos factor, the scene continues as normal. If it is below the chaos factor, there's going to be some sort of change to it. Now, d10. Alright, they need a 7 or more for it to continue as normal. A 7. Alright, so their day continues as expected. They're going to continue on. Let's see if they find anything, in which case we will go to the Manual of Hexterity. We'll roll on a 10. This is my personal rule for hex crawling. I like to roll to see if they find anything of interest, any landmarks, whatnot. So I roll a d6, and on a 1, they discover something interesting. Sometimes I will alter it to reflect where they are, and if they are looking particularly hard. The brothers aren't looking for anything, so it's more if they just stumble across something. 3, they find nothing, and then on a d6, on a 1, there's a random encounter. Every single day there's a random encounter. Okay, back to Swords and Wizardry. Okay, so here's the encounter tables for Swords and Wizardry. Again, I'm going to roll a percentile. Below 50 is going to be in woodlands. Above 50 is going to be in swamp. 11. So that is woodlands. We'll roll a d100 again. And we got an 84. Miscellaneous monster. Oh, God. Miscellaneous monster encounters. This is I feel like any of these are not going to be able to just run away from. 68. Werebears. Lovely. Okay. So let's go to Werebears and see what we've got. Number in peering 1d4 and percentage in layer 15. Alright, so maybe okay, so we're going to roll 1d4, see how many they're encountering, and then we're going to roll to see if they've stumbled across a werebear lair. Just please be 1. Please be 1. 4. Of course it is. Of course it's 4. Because why would it be a number that they can handle? They're going to have to run away from these guys. They have no choice. It's 2 of them. There's no way they're going to take on 4, 7 plus 3 hit dice creatures. $46. Okay, so it's not the lair. It's just 4 werebears kind of crawling, walking through. See if roll for surprise. Which one of these guys has a skill that only allows them to be surprised on? Actually, I've got it right here. So I'll take it this handy dandy printout for that Swords and Wizardries has for the classes. It's got all the information on them. So alertness. Provided that a monk has a wisdom of 15 plus, they are not easily attacked by surprise. There is a 1 in 6 chance for the party. Okay, so A 1, that is for Ekel. On a 1, he's surprised. So we're going to say if he can't be surprised, then his brother won't end up being surprised either. So we're going to roll for the monks. A 6, so they're not surprised. Werebears, a 1 to 2. They're not surprised either. So they kind of, maybe the werebears are stalking them, and the brothers can kind of hear them because he's alert. Because of his alertness, they sense that there's something going on. They're going to have to try and run away from these guys. All right, check see if there's rules for evasion. I think there's not. If not, then we're going to wing it. I think. Let's roll. Chaos factor 7. Are the werebears aggressive? Or are they going to attack? So 75 or less is a yes. 60. They are aggressive and they are going to attack. Okay, so this is going to suck for the brothers. We're going to leave this attack for the next episode, and we'll see how this goes. I'm a little concerned, I'll be honest. I'm a little concerned, but I think I've decided I'm going to use the Scarlet Heroes damage dice for this, for my Swords of Wizardry game, just because it's only 2 characters and it gives them a bit more of a fighting chance, if you will. So we'll take a look at this next episode. Okay, this is exciting. There's probably going to be some combat. Maybe the brothers will be able to fight for a bit and run away, but we're going to find out next episode. I hope you join us, and I hope you're enjoying this. And if you are, then do the like, subscribe thing. Tell your friends. Tell them to come watch. It's a good time for everyone. That's it for me. Save a seat for me at your table.